Many people have tried to give a visual description to what life could possibly mean. Some people see it as a journey, some others call it a roller coaster. Some say it is a wind that blows for a while and then afterwards is no more. Some even see it as a walking shadow, a fairy tale. Many people have argued, some agree, others disagree on the true meaning and purpose of life. But everyone has agreed to the single fact that life is indeed a wonderful thing, a fleeting gift to be cherished like no other. A life like that of Elder Mrs. Mary Asuquo Ekanem.
My mother was a unique individual.
My mother was someone I cherished.
A mother in millions. That was a mother.
Every other person calls her mama.
That's the mother I had.
Born on the 21st of January 1940 to the royal family of Etinye Oyoita in Calabar Oyoita Babuyo local government, Cross River State, Elder Mrs. Mary Asuquo Ekanem has for the past 72 years walked the path of life. Now, like a well-spent candle, she is no more.
It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
It's not. She takes on the grace of God to do it.
Someone sometimes said that it matters not how long we live, but how. And so we asked the question, how did Mama live her life?
She grew up like what I've been told, tender, loving child, the watchful eyes of her parents. She attended a CMS school in Nakanda. From there she went to Duketown Elementary School in Calabar. After Duketown Primary School, she went to Holy Child Secondary School, also in Calabar. After that, she got employment in the then Board of Internal Revenue.
And then she got married and became a mother of children through childbirth and also by adoption.
She taught us to say the truth. She taught us to like people. And she taught us the fact that we are on earth, that people too could not be sincere to you, but you have to show them all amount of sincerity no matter what.
Every morning, 5 o'clock, everybody is up. If you are not up there, she will sprinkle you water. You make sure everybody is up for morning prayers.
I remember when I was in my elementary school, I did some out of school trans, so she had to take me to school, and I felt so embarrassed that day.
I remember when I started menstruating. Oh, one day my mom said, I actually didn't go anywhere to have warranted that. My mom said, anywhere, I'm not saying you. I hate you, young people. As you saw, you understand that kind of, she was kind of threatening me. You don't have to mess with boys. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do this.
I remember once I was sitting for my school set and I had to be back home. Of course, you have to make sure that I wasn't falling asleep, for example. It got to a point that you had to put your feet in the bucket of water or something to keep you awake for a while.
She adopted me because I lost my mom some years ago, and when she realized my mom was not there when I was having my children, she came in and actually played the roles of a mother in my life, and ever since then, she has been dear to my heart.
On Sundays, we normally have special meal on Sundays, that if we eat bread and tea as breakfast in the afternoon, We will eat the rice and beans and stew and so on, and plantain. In fact, it was a common dish that when she prepares the meal, everybody will rally around and we eat.
Those days I'll definitely go out. She'll give me curfew. Hey, she didn't always let me go out. But by the time I sneak out, I actually have to jump the gate in. By the time I jump the gate in, she's actually waiting for me by the side of the gate. But you'll definitely deal with me.
As a mother, she did not spare the rod on any of her children in need of guidance.
My mother never stomach any nonsense. Let me use the word nonsense.
She will not spare you at your own error. She will so beat you. It's only those who come their ways at the tail end. Like my last born, calling the last two siblings that my mom did not beat.
She beat me too.
My dad has never raised his hand at me until he's dead. But my mom, she must definitely give it to me as hard as possible. So hard. She will give it to me, but in few minutes she will still call me back. Like, come on here, didn't you send me?
And they had a special way of disciplining us. You know, one of my brothers, Dr. Yoita, they would ask us, please could you go to the room and get something for me? And by the time we get inside the room, they will lock us inside the room and they will flog us. I never rode a motorbike before, but it was just once that I started riding a bike that I almost saw hell in her, because she felt that I should, as young as I was, I should not touch the bike, but I was so adventurous.
We learned how to respect each other. So you don't ever stand and answer your senior anything. So every one of us, we live by that. You know, we live by that. My mom cannot hear you say, tell your senior. What nonsense is that, as I used to hear? You can't say it in her home.
So because of that, there's a bond between her biological children and we that are adopted to her. So everybody is one.
And I thank God for the life I live now, all because God placed her in a good position to nurture us.
Since her youth and throughout her lifetime, Elder Mrs. Mary Ekanem has always had a zealous devotion to God and the things of God. This unflinching passion has been demonstrated at all times and in various ways during her lifetime, at home with her husband and children, and in the church and everywhere else.
I was involved in church activities. In fact, every day I don't go, I think I have a very big burden. So even if I'm sick, I will go as I come out from the church or from the day's business.
And I could just ask her, Mama, won't you rest? She said, I think I can make it today. She was always there, going for prayer band, going for women's field, attending church services, and other programs.
She was made an elder because of all her good deeds. She was ordained an elder of the church.
You know, in Asuquo, we didn't have girls' brigade, but single-handedly she fought and brought the girls' brigade 13th Calabar Company.
She was a mother of a group in the church, so within that she was still playing an advisory role.
I can remember when we were very small, indeed. The church started as a thatch house. I can remember very, very well. When it started, it very behind the manse. That was where the church was. Where you see here was my mother's farm. But my mother and her dear husband, they did not care about it. They seceded this place for the church. The no longer farm here is now the place of the church. You can see the essence. My mother had interest for the church, had interest for, in fact, for humanity. That was my mother.
thank you from anybody because they are not working for a human being. You hearing me? So thank God. Thank God. Because you cannot get anything from man. And as you do this, you see how God is blessing you.
Relating with others outside our immediate family, Mama displayed fervency in her love, care and genuine concern for everyone that crossed her way. Sometimes going the extra mile in trying to help another out of an ill situation.
She's concerned about people's problems, and I tell her when she asked me about the car, I said, oh, look, you're going to go now. You know, she's concerned when somebody is in any problem, she will show concern.
Everybody runs to Mama for a piece of advice. Everybody. Oh, let's ask Mama this. Let's ask Mama that. Everybody, big and small, we run to Mama for advice.
No matter what, my mom, if you approach her, she will have something to give to you. Up to a point, I would be telling her, Mama, Anyway,
say, Mama, it's not long I send money to you now. He said, me. That was my mom. She did not care for herself alone, neither her children alone.
She wouldn't hear you come to tell her, come, let me tell you what this other person has said. She will not.
Nobody comes to their house without, at least you must have something to eat. Even if there is no food, my mom will try and fix things.
I had this feeling that they sick women don't accept the BBO girls. But Mama was not like that. Even when people came, her cousins, they said the same went and married an BBO girl. She said, leave this one for me, she's my daughter. And that was what Mama was to me to the very end.
It was my mother's house that was used, served as man's. So that every minister coming in here, it was my mother that would cook food, prepare food for them. There's as many as that will come our way. She was always there, ready to serve.
When that time was working, I will visit people, 3-4 people before I go to work. To know how they are faring. Because I can help with my little token. And some of them used to testify.
The day was gracious. That afternoon was filled with sound and sunshine, everyone going about their business as usual. The day of her death. Though no one expected it, but God alone knew.
She was not rushed to the hospital. She had an appointment to see a doctor on 27 June 2012.
She had called me very early in the morning that day. She called me and said that she was going to the hospital and that it is said that she was to be admitted very, very early in the morning and that I should pray for her.
She took her bath that early morning. She dressed up very beautifully, as you can see. And she called her children.
I was going to the market when I had a call.
I was at work, and that morning, in fact, I actually said to her that I would be calling her that Wednesday once she had finished with the checkup.
I got through from the kitchen to get some things to eat. So immediately I had my plate of rice. I was about getting it off. My plate fell on the floor.
I saw that it was like she was conscious of the fact that her life was gradually leaving. She was having a change of life from this world to another world. I mean, as a pastor, that was how my view was.
3 of us, myself, Ekanem, and Elder Ekanem, we were all there. She did not give us any sign as if she's going to die. Do you know? Even when the doctor were talking to her, every one of us, we were all there. She was patting on the doctor. Oh, that is to say, well done. And she smiled and all that.
I can still remember one of the things she said. She said she appreciated all that we did for her because we were running under skelter and making sure things were being put in places.
Doctor was trying to write prescription for her patient. Just for us to turn around to see that my mother has closed her eyes. She just slept on, off. And by the time they realized, Mama, I tried to close her eyes. Mama, I tried to, I tried to open her eyes to see whether it is what it was real. Before we know, my mother has gone in a very peaceful manner. There was no stress.
I saw her lying there. It was like she was sleeping. It was just like she was sleeping. I saw her and then gathered them together and prayed with them and left them.
It was very sudden and shocking.
It was really a sad day. It was really a sad day. Very, very difficult to handle. Because I'm not sure if your head splits or you will or whatever, but it's just not when you're 6,000 miles away, not when you've not seen your mother for a long time, not when you were preparing to hopefully see her this year, making every effort to come and see her this year, not when you only spoke with her a few days ago, when you were looking forward to calling her and you were her. So it wasn't good at all.
I saw her lying cold on the hospital bed. I was dumbfounded, and all I could say to her that, Mama, this was not the arrangement. Why would you do this to us?
I hadn't cried for a long time, but I cried on her dead body. I kissed her. That's how it was, because she was such a loving mother.
The first 2 weeks our mom died, it wasn't easy with us. Because when we sit down to think of how we used to relate with her, we were very cordial, Not very cordial. We were like sisters. Nobody would know that we are mother, like me or myself. Somebody would say I'm her junior sister.
I remember my last son's dedication in Kaduna. She came and she played a great part. I remember the advices.
She taught me how to take care of my children. I don't have, my mother passed on when I was very small. So when I gave birth, she was always the one to be there to take care of me. We were too close.
I remember one of the things my wife told me once and said, oh, fun. Mama will be asking her, we talk like almost every day on phone. In 2 days' time, if we don't talk, she'll tell me, I'll tell her, she said, and we all laugh. Even being 6,000 miles away, my mother regularly calls to make sure I'm eaten, for example. She still doesn't stop calling an old man like me every other day, as it were.
When I had my baby, as at then I was living in a street that was not tarred. She didn't have a car, but before 6 a.m. she's in my house. She will come on a bike, she will bath the baby, she will bath me, she will bring food, all manner, whether it's raining or it's sunny, but before 6 she's there. So, those are the times I I can't forget.
Every first of the month, like today, she will always be there in the morning for her prayers. Even when the health was getting down and down, getting through treatments and all that, she was still making time to be in church. So we will need to remember her.
When church dismisses like this on Sunday, I stay here with my mom who will be gisting, talking and laughing until maybe by 5 o'clock I go back to my home, you know. Now that she's no more there, I don't know how I'm going to cope, you know. I don't know how I'm going to cope because she used to help me so much. We come here, sit down with my children, we'll be chatting. When we are tired, we go home.
This is a woman that when things were tough, if she takes her pension, she will post some money to me. Don't tell your husband, he will not want you to call him, but use it to buy things for the house. Mama was a good mother to me.
Every Sunday after service we go, we eat rice. So the question was like, so who cook the rice now for us?
And I wouldn't forget a particular experience when my first child came. Unfortunately, I wasn't even there, but my mother was there for me. She had to call me, Mother, where are you? You have to be here.
Like my first daughter was saying, oh, Mama is always saying, I want to see you get married, finish your education, get married, you know, have your children before I would die.
She called me almost every day, and we speak almost every day. But when I was a kid, I never used to like fish, so we bring that many at the time. I was like a special case that my mother would make sure that, well, she would obviously give me meat when others are having fish. So already I was being extremely special at a very young tender age. And I'm not quite sure how many mothers would obviously tolerate that in the first instance, but I certainly was given meat when everyone else were having fish. Sincerely, she gave us, especially me too, a sense of coverage. I walk into a place, I said, I'm the son of Elder Mrs. Ekanem. Oh, you have such a good mother. So perhaps now we'll be hearing she was a good mother.
I was thinking she will leave to a point that I can really repay her for the love, you know, the advice. She fights my cause. Coming back from work, I will have to sit and talk with my mom. She will ask me how was the day, we will chat, the number of people that came to the hospital, the number of patients that we had.
One thing I told my children was that, sorry, you're not going to see Mama to hug. One of my daughters is named after her.
She's always by the window side. When she sees us, she comes out, go and hug her. She's like, Mom baby, you're looking very thin. Okay, come and eat. She's always giving us food to eat. She's cooking very well. She cooks very well. And then personally, I don't eat much, but she packs the food like very much. So like, you must finish it. You're too thin. Eat fat. You must be fat.
Mama was the best friend that I ever had in the world. She was kind, she was loving, she was generous, she was grateful, she was caring, she loved others, she was concerned about others, she wanted to know the welfare of others, and she was the kind of person that you will always love to be with, and she was the type of person that you want to emulate. And I've always told people, my friends at school, that they should try and emulate my grandma. She's the mother that delivered my mom, and she's kind, she's loving, she gives out to people, she's always concerned about others, and she's the best friend I've ever had in the world.
And so, as we try to adjust to the irrevocable fact that Mama is no longer with us physically, we'll always be consoled that her walk along life's path was not in vain, that she truly left a part of herself inside of us who had the privilege to know and hear about her. Just as it is said that he who lives well is the best preacher, Mama's life was indeed a well-prepared and delivered sermon.
God for His grace, and Lord will surely see them through as I see me through. child will surely see his children. It's not easy. It's not an easy job.
Yeah.
It's not.
We miss her, but I want to believe and trust God that she's in the bosom of the Almighty God. I thank God the more because none of us had predeceased our mother. We have all lived to bury our mother. It is an achievement, and I give God glory for that. I clearly miss my mother a lot. A lot.
It's so painful that now I'm going to refer to her in the past tense. But believe you me, forever she remains in my heart.
But my consolation is that she's in heaven. Yeah, I'm sure of that. She's in heaven.
We sympathize with the family, we share with them in the grief, we empathize with them, and we want to say that they receive solace from God and consolation from the Holy Spirit, comfort from God and grace to give their mother a befitting burial. For to the church, I will also say that we miss her, but every man has his good and bad aspects of life. Those good aspects we saw her live, especially her devotion and commitment to God and consistency in the things of God should be upheld by the family members and by the members of the church.
So I really thank God for her life, and I pray that she will really have peace in the bosom of the Lord. And then I said, Mama, I love you and I will always do.
We surely miss her. We surely miss her. As a great woman, as a great mother. Mother indeed.